He ruled with an iron fist for more than 3 decades. A president worshipped by some, feared by millions, and accused of stealing more money than any leader in modern history. This is the story of the man called Suharto, the general who rose to power through blood and fell under the weight of corruption and tyranny. Suharto was born in 1921 into a poor farming family in Java. Quiet, disciplined, and ambitious, he joined the military young, rising through its ranks during Indonesia's struggle for independence. By the mid-1960s, Indonesia was in chaos: political tension, economic crisis, and a mysterious attempted coup. Suharto seized the moment. With the military behind him, he crushed political opponents, took control, and in 1967 became president of Indonesia. This was the beginning of what he called the New Order. But history would call it something very different. Suharto promised stability and delivered it through fear. Under his rule, between 500,000 and 1 million people were killed in anti-communist purges. Thousands more were imprisoned without trial. Dissent was crushed. Freedom of speech disappeared. Political opponents vanished. And the world watched silently because Suharto was good for business. Foreign powers supported him. Corporations thrived, and Suharto's grip on Indonesia grew stronger. But while the world saw stability, behind the palace walls, Suharto and his inner circle were building something else entirely: a corruption empire. For decades, Suharto controlled every sector of Indonesia's economy. Oil, timber, mining, agriculture all flowed through him. His family owned monopolies. His children controlled companies. Contracts were handed out in secret, and the nation's wealth was siphoned into private accounts. In 2004, Time magazine published a groundbreaking investigation. Suharto and his family were accused of stealing between $15 billion and $35 billion during his presidency. Some estimates go even higher, making him possibly the most corrupt leader in modern history. While millions of Indonesians lived in poverty, the Suharto dynasty lived in unimaginable luxury. Then came 1997. The Asian financial crisis hit Indonesia like a tidal wave. Economy collapsing, prices soaring, unemployment spreading like wildfire. The people had had enough. Protests erupted, students took to the streets. Jakarta became a battlefield. After 32 years in power, Suharto resigned on May 21, 1998, ending one of the longest dictatorships of the 20th century. It was a moment many Indonesians thought would bring justice, but justice never fully arrived. After his fall, Suharto faced investigations for corruption and human rights abuses, but trials were delayed. Cases were dismissed. He claimed ill health, and prosecutors could never fully bring him to justice. In 2000, he was placed under house arrest, but he never spent a day in prison. He died in 2008, wealthy, protected, and unpunished. The billions he allegedly stole were never recovered. Some still call him a hero. Others call him one of the world's greatest thieves. History remembers both. But the victims, they remember something else: a dictator who hid behind patriotism while bleeding his nation dry. Power can bring stability, but when power becomes absolute, it becomes dangerous, and sometimes devastating. Suharto built a legacy of control, fear, and corruption, a man who rose as a hero and fell as a symbol of greed. This is Crimes of the Powerful, where no leader, no matter how strong, escapes the truth.